Holy shit, that timing. Yeah, I'm still so just I'm still so happy. So stinking happy with our opening. It's so good. It's so good. Like I didn't have a chance. I yeah. Like immediately as soon as I transitioned I saw it pop up. Bro, I know peak opening like I I'm still and I, it's just it's so good and we're gonna watch the rest of that anime. We might do it tomorrow. Left a jarred. I hate it here, but also hi Yogi. um Bobo, are you listening? Yes, also thank you. I don't know if you're still here, the Glory AZ, but thank you so much for the follow. Ow. My. My. Oh, oh shit, that's right. One Piece try. Oh, okay, all right. Fuck. Sometime this weekend. Friday or Saturday. Why are you bonking me? Friday or Saturday, we will do the rest of fuck, what's it called? My Ruka-chan. Yeah, you see my new shirt? You see my new shirt? Looky. New fit, who dis? New fit? Hello? Because freedom? Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. There's a One Piece in Terraria. Yeah, I was my work was kinda slow. Like, and by kinda I mean it was really slow today. It was really slow. It was actually annoying me. Um so I played around with textures and yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Plus, I mean, look, it's Ghostface, but it's like cosmic flavored Ghostface. Also, thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. Bored out of your mind, been off since yesterday morning. Usually get one day off. Oh my goodness. Is the Terraria thing being streamed? I don't know. I don't necessarily have plans for that. Like as in, streamed in the Discord. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. What game will we be playing next? Storytime and ASMR are good, but I want to see the epic fail and goofy moments. Well, Thursday night, we're finishing up. Well, I don't know about finishing because I don't know how long the game is, but we're playing more mouthwashing. I don't know how much of like epic fail and goofy moments that one will be because it's actually supposed to be like a really good like it's horror and it's more so story based. Oh, my vacation is my home. Oh, you're on vacation! Yay! Happy vacation. How's the volume level on my our background music? Can I get a volume check, please? It's dark, serious storytelling, but yeah, exactly. And then if someone talking is wild. Yeah, like we'll see how myself and the group are feeling. You don't hear it? I have an equalizer on. Uh-oh. Well, shit fuck. Any background music, the only thing I'm hearing is you. Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling that, Civic? Why? Also, hi Travis, welcome in, welcome in. Hair higher with the background if you'd like, but I can hear the fireplace sounds. Oh, wait, this is, okay, hold on. I'll fix. We'll use Spotify. This is the one that I have split. No, there's no music. Don't know what this lady is saying. Actually wild. We'll use some of our standard background. We'll cut this off. Nom. Sinister. There's no way you got tingles just now. We'll use our standard. I like our standard. This one. And let me set it over here. Food in the upside down. I'm sure that I can fix. I know I can fix. This one. I really like this one. That looks like it's loud though. Okay, all right, volume check now. Also, how are we doing? How are we doing tonight? I have a tiny bit of story time that is funny. It's just funny. That happened today. Gotta get back to Stranger Things. Sounds good? Okay, awesome. Good. I advise watching it once, and that's it. I plowed through that series, and some of it was really good. The ending was not. It wasn't it. It wasn't it, unfortunately. Okay, that looks good. Watching season 5 only once, yeah. Murasaki with the resub. Look at you. And for 4 months, heck yeah. Thank you so much. You sweetheart. The ending was shit. It was. And the more I thought about it, I was like, ugh. Season 1 was meant to be a standalone. There was never meant to be any other seasons. Oh, I read that too. I'm awake. My girlfriend is asleep. Oh my god. Coon with the gifted to uni. Thank you so much. Y'all started a hype train. On a reading stream. I feel like it's going to go downhill from here. Yeah. Episodes 1 to 5. Oh, yep. And do nothing. I clearly, clear as day, see what you did. Thank you. I appreciate that. Reading stream hype. Let's go. My scam train tribute. Shadow, thank you for the 100 biddies. I hope it's not a scam. Sober, thank you so much for the 100 biddies as well. Another rating falls apart at some point. Yeah. Like the whole story falls apart, and they parts that I'm not gonna say spoilers for, you know, especially since you're watching it like currently, but parts that key notes, key parts of the story, it's like they forgot. Like the writers forgot, and it's rough to see that. Yeah, you already know spoilers. Well, I'm not gonna, you know, I fucking hate spoilers, so yeah. Metas, thank you so much for the 100 biddies too. So you got the emote, maybe not unlocked, but you did technically get it. You'll get to the rest of season 5 eventually. Take your time. Take your time with it. It's like literally watch it once and be done with it. I hate to say it, because I did enjoy a lot of the series. Drag Path got re-released and it sounds completely different, even though that's the point. Drag Path? I don't know what Drag Path is. Some new emotes recently, not sure why. Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, those are cute. I like that. I like spoilers if they're for cars. Oh, okay. Oh, Drag Path. Okay. I'm not, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with that song. I really like them. I need to dig more into their music, to be honest. That's what I've done with most Netflix shows. I do own the collector's edition of season 1 on Blu-ray. That I got you. Different now from the original. Oh, okay. So today, story time before story time. Story time before Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Your model's cute. Thank you, Sagi. Thank you. I appreciate that. So apparently my mom went on a little bit of an ordering frenzy last night. Let's just say that she ordered things based off of Munchie's level. Okay. Mama Banshee, yes. Hi, Crypto. Someday being able to get a Blu-ray release in the US. Yeah, uh-oh is right. Is right. She was telling me about this. What did the Eldritch Mother order? The reason I got into Stranger Things was because it reminds me of a Stephen King story, like Stand By Me. Ooh, oh, best time to buy. Black Shadow, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing good. She was telling me about this. She didn't get anything for her sneezing, but I mean, she also has a lot of like medicines for sneezing. I know Eldritch fucking sent me. Thank you so much for the 300 biddies, Kun. When Small and Banshee's debut. I'm doing good, of course. Good. I'm glad you are. So she's telling me that she kind of did an oopsie while she had the munchies late last night. And it's around like 11 or 12 in the morning at this point today. And she tells me that she ordered some Hot Pockets, some White Castle, this frozen stuff, White Castle, like little burgers, little sliders or whatever, and and some like breakfast croissant sandwiches. Can't be a proper scam train unless it clears the first level. That's fair. If the Banshee is an ancient one, then her mom must be Eldritch. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so you say hell yeah, brother. Okay, where will you be when the midnight munchies hit? You say hell yeah, brother. Right? It sounds good, right? There were boxes, like the 12, the 8 or 12 pack or whatever the fuck, however many boxes of Hot Pockets, and yeah, she bought the bulk. literally as she's telling me this, Black Shadow Munchie's like when you're craving a sweet or salty kind of snack, it's yeah. um she got the whole Costco crate. There were packages at my door. Like shortly after she told me this, my dog started barking and barking and barking and barking and barking and barking. Aurelia, thank you so much for the resub for 3 months at tier 1. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are precious. I appreciate that so much. I really do. They never buy, yeah, literally never buy when you're hungry. Like just as a rule of thumb. Must have been a snack drop. It was, there were there were like I 5 or 6 paper, like insulated paper packages outside my door that my dog was alerting us to. Literally right after she told me, I was crying. I was crying, and I had to, we have very little space left. Like we have a lot of freezer space, but we also have, it's also like fucking packed. There's a lot of stuff. Hello, Uncrowned. Stop laughing and tell a story. It's funny. It's so funny and stupid. I had to take all the stuff out of their boxes and stash and store it where I could, because we barely had the room. We barely had the room to fit it all in there. And yeah, so I had Hot Pockets for dinner tonight. Yeah. Why I never order past 11. I imagine if she had access to delivery apps. Oh god. We had to keep my grandmother away from the oh no, the shopping network when she was still alive. She would buy just about everything. That's, yeah. Yeah, that's mom. That's mom. Sounds like a skill issue. I Jenga the fuck out of that thing. I don't know what you mean skill issue. Is my back okay? Oh god. Night night, Black Shadow. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. And then that wasn't that one delivery wasn't everything. It wasn't everything. There was more. Like two more packages came a little later. I was done. I was done. It was so stupid. Oh, cute. That's cute. Okay. But yes. Anyway, cutie pies, we are reading. We are getting back to reading, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland tonight. Obviously, your freezer wasn't full enough. You could fit it all in there. I barely was able to close it. Like, it's funny because my grandmother had a similar problem with Amazon. I swear. Oh no. My mom's had this issue with Amazon, with eBay. It hasn't reared its ugly head in a hot minute. So, Hamster Cage, hi, welcome in. Oh my goodness. But yes, as I said, we are reading, we're on chapter 7. If I can move my big head, which I can only move it so far, so you'll just have to trust me. Chapter 7, A Mad Tea Party. I banned my mom from Temu. That's so funny. Excuse me. Thank you so much for the lick, Yoki. Thank you for the lick. Wait, let me move this over here. Yes. That needs to go there. Okay. But she was shopping like a billionaire. Finch, a self-care app I use. There's an Alice in Wonderland event going on currently. Oh, the timing's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I've heard of Finch. I've heard of Finch. Ugh. Let me actually move this down. Okay. Now, settle in. Get good and cozy. Throw me up on your side screen while you're doing whatever you need to do. No. You don't want to get cozy? Why don't you want to get cozy? Why don't we, why don't you want to get as uncomfy as possible? Just to spite me. Okay. Fine. Get uncomfy. You do you, boo, okay? I'm gonna read. If you use Temu or a similar app, either it's cheap or it's unethically. So yeah, I've never used Temu. I've never used it. Temu and like one or two others. Only shrimping over here. Ma'am, come on. The brats in full force tonight, I see you. Jarek, hi. Shit, I'm getting comfy. Literally, why you're punishing yourselves. Put me in your microwave. I would not advise that. Sitting on your head, I also would not advise. Hit Manic. Are you listening? I've been comfy since I joined. See, thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. I advise arson though. Oh, you're a can't get comfy, gotta stay awake. You could do both. You're a how'd you like the little announcement I put in the Discord today, huh? How'd you like that? I've used AliExpress to get good quality LEDs for model kits. I can't find the same type anywhere else. Yeah, that's fair. I fuck with it. We did. We stole slickies. We straight up stole slickies. You're getting cooked. Oh god. It's gonna be so funny. It's gonna be so funny. I'll touch his balls later. Right now the team looked unbalanced, but guessing you only added those in the yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know Uri's team or Aggie's team yet, so you know they can add them in their own discords. That's so they have inside knowledge. You don't know my team, you are not ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm so ready for it. We have Carrot, but we also have Banshee. I kept my team so secret, even I don't know who they are. Just be thankful you don't have me. I'd have you on my team food. We have like more than enough now though. What a handicap. So that nets out to 0. Oh my god. A chess and Daria this week. Hey, I've been learning a lot, okay? Leave me alone. That's future Yuri's problem. He's a dick. All right, children. We're gonna start reading. Like I said, get nice and comfy, get some snackies, get your water, some kind of beverage, tea, whatever. I've been I've been playing it on my own for a little bit, just learning. You had some cookies? Yum. Yuri's worst nightmare books. Hi Connor, welcome in. Yes. Chapter 7. They're gone already. I'm sad. Get more cookies. You have a dream. We're reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. We're right in the middle of it. We're on chapter 7. A mad tea party. Limit yourself to only 2 a night. Well, that's good. Good for you. Yeah, I got Hitmanic's check-in. I did. I'll do it again, but I got it. Connor with a 3-stream streak. All right. Chapter 7. A mad tea party. There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other 2 were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice. Only, as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. The table was a large one, but the 3 were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room, they cried out when they saw Alice coming. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. Have some wine, the March Hare said in an encouraging tone. Alice looked all around the table, but there was nothing on it but tea. I don't see any wine, she remarked. Thank you for the hydrate. Excuse me. Unfun fact, the character Mad Hatter is a copywritten character by Walt Disney. He's only known as the Hatter in the original book. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I'm not excused. That's rude. Probably some bum-ass tea. I know the Mad Hatter broke as fuck. There isn't any, said the March Hare. Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it, said Alice angrily. Hi, Yami. Welcome in. It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited, said the March Hare. I didn't know it was your table, said Alice. It's laid for a great many more than 3. Your hair wants cutting, said the Hatter. He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity, and this was his first speech. You should learn not to make personal remarks, Alice said with some severity. It's very rude. The Hatter opened his eyes very wide on hearing this, but all he said was, Why is a raven like a writing desk? Come, we shall have some fun now, thought Alice. I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that, she added aloud. Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it? Said the March Hare. Exactly so, said Alice. Oh, my shoes. Then you should say what you mean, the March Hare went on. I do, Alice hastily replied. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know. Not the same thing a bit, said the Hatter. You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see. You might just as well say, added the March Hare, that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like. You might just as well say, added the Dormouse, who seemed to be talking in his sleep, That I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe. It is the same thing with you, said the Hatter, and here the conversation dropped, and the party sat silent for a minute, while Alice thought over all she could remember about ravens and writing desks, which wasn't much. The Hatter. There we go. The Hatter was the first to break the silence. What day of the month is it? He said, turning to Alice. He had taken his watch out of his pocket and was looking at it uneasily, shaking it every now and then and holding it to his ear. Oh, Lewis Carroll did give an answer to why Raven is like a writing desk. I want to know the answer. I want to know the answer. A ghostie is wearing a shirt with a ghostie? Yeah. They both can produce a few notes, although they are very flat. Oh my goodness. That's funny. That's actually kind of cute. Alice considered a little and then said, "The 4th. 2 days wrong," sighed the Hatter. "I told you butter wouldn't suit the works," he added, looking angrily at the March Hare. "It was the best butter," the March Hare meekly replied. "Yes, but some crumbs must have got in as well," the Hatter grumbled. "You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife." The March Hare took the watch and looked at it gloomily. Then he dipped it into his cup of tea and looked at it again. But he could think of nothing better to say than his first remark. It was the best butter, you know. I'm proud of the new shirt. It's not completely black. I mean, I simply couldn't make it all black. So I had to go with something else, which I'm pretty happy with, honestly. So, yeah. Alice had been looking over his shoulder with some curiosity. "What a funny watch," she remarked. "It tells the day of the month, and doesn't tell what o'clock it is." "Why should it matter?" muttered the Hatter. "Does your watch tell you what year it is?" "Of course not," Alice replied very readily. "But that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together." "Which is just the case with mine," said the Hatter. Alice felt dreadfully puzzled. The Hatter's remark seemed to have no sort of meaning in it, and yet it was certainly English. "I don't quite understand you," she said as politely as she could. "The dormouse is asleep again," said the Hatter, and he poured a little hot tea upon its nose. The dormouse shook its head impatiently and said, without opening its eyes, Of course. Just what I was going to remark myself." "Have you guessed the riddle yet?" the Hatter said, turning to Alice again. "No, I give up," Alice replied. "What's the answer?" "I haven't the slightest idea," said the Hatter. "Nor I," said the March Hare. Alice sighed wearily. "I think you might do something better with the time," she said, "than waste it in asking riddles that have no answers." "If you knew time as well as I do," said the Hatter, "you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him." "I don't know what you mean," said Alice. "Of course you don't," the Hatter said, tossing his head contemptuously. "I dare say you never even spoke to time." "Perhaps not," Alice cautiously replied. "But I know I have to beat time when I learn music." "Ah, that accounts for it," said the Hatter. "He won't stand beating. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, He'd do almost anything you liked with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and around goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner. I only wish it was, the March Hare said to itself in a whisper. That would be grand, certainly, said Alice thoughtfully. But then, I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know. Not at first, perhaps, said the Hatter. But you could keep but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked. Is that the way you manage? Alice asked. The Hatter shook his head mournfully. Not I, he replied. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad, you know, pointing with his teaspoon at the March Hare. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing, Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. You know the song, perhaps? I've heard something like it, said Alice. It goes on, you know, the Hatter continued, in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. Alex Vidal, Calvinator, thank you both so much for the follows. I hope you're both doing really good. I hope you're both really comfy. My music has fucking changed. Why does it do this? Why do you do this? There we go. That should hopefully fix that. Oh. Limed green. Are you listening? So I'm hearing that you did try to get it all black. Yeah, I did. Shrooms with the 45 stream streak. Let's heckin' go. It's like at least 12, which means I might be addicted. Is the story a wonder? Get out. But also high solid. Oh, Soggy, you're reading along with me? Oh, that's fun. Oh, I would love to be a voice actor. I would. I tried very, very, very briefly years ago. Mad Hatter has brain rot from this book. Thought that'd throw you up to make what I said work. Wait, what? Make what I said work. Oh, the command. Okay, I was like, wait, what? Okay. He has brain rot because they used to coat the rim of hats in mercury. Oh my god. Okay. Here the dormouse shook itself and began singing in its sleep. Twinkle, 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 and went on so long that they had to pinch it to make it stop. Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse, said the Hatter, when the Queen jumped up and bawled out, He's murdering the time! Off with his head! How dreadfully savage! Exclaimed Alice. And ever since that, the Hatter went on in a mournful tone, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now. A bright idea came into Alice's head. Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here? She asked. Yes, that's it, said the Hatter with a sigh. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash the things between whiles. Then you keep moving round, I suppose, said Alice. Exactly so, said the Hatter, as the things get used up. But what happens when you come to the beginning again? Alice ventured to ask. Suppose we change the subject, the March Hare interrupted, yawning. I'm getting tired of this. I vote the young lady tells us a story. I'm afraid I don't know one, said Alice, rather alarmed at the proposal. Then the Dormouse shall, they both cried. Wake up, Dormouse. And they pinched it on both sides at once. The Dormouse slowly opened his eyes. I wasn't asleep, he said in a hoarse, feeble voice. I heard every word you fellows were saying. Tell us a story, said the March Hare. Yes, please do, said Alice, pleaded Alice. And be quick about it, added the Hatter, or you'll be asleep again before it's done. Once upon a time there were 3 little sisters, the Dormouse began in a great hurry, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of a well. What did they live on? Said Alice, who always took a great interest in questions of eating and drinking. They live on treacle, said the Dormouse, after thinking a minute or two. They couldn't have done that, you know, Alice gently remarked. They'd have been ill. So they were, said the Dormouse, very ill. Did he have that topic booked for school? I hate it here. Did a full report on this book in high school if that wasn't... Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Off with her head. I also take great interest in the matter of food and drink. Fucking same. We'll continue until jokes approve. I'm not yawning on purpose. I get triggered very, very, very easily by yawns. Ow. Ow. Did it warrant that? Oh, goodness. Let me fix this real quickaroo. Quickie. There we go. Yes, here we are. Alice tried to fancy herself, to herself what such an extraordinary way of living would be like, but it puzzled her too much, so she went on. But why did they live at the bottom of a well? Take some more tea, the March Hare said to Alice, very earnestly. I've had nothing yet, Alice replied in an offended tone, so I can't take more. You mean you can't take less, said the Hatter. It's very easy to take more than nothing. Nobody asked your opinion, said Alice. Who's making personal remarks now? The Hatter asked triumphantly. Alice did not quite know what to say to this, so she helped herself to some tea and bread and butter, and then turned to the Dormouse and repeated her question. Why did they live at the bottom of a well? The Dormouse again took a minute or two to think about it, and then said it was a treacle well. There's no such thing, Alice was beginning very angrily, but the Hatter and the March Hare went, shh, shh. And the Dormouse sulkily remarked, if you can't be civil, you'd better finish the story for yourself. No, please go on, Alice said very humbly. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there may be one. One indeed, said the Dormouse indignantly. However, he consented to go on. And so these 3 little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the clown redeem or the tape redeem to work on this one yet. Um, it's a bit more complicated. I hate to say. Because I'm always a clown. That's fine. I don't care. mm, I'll be a clown ghosty? Question mark. Drive by kisses for the stream. Hi, my. Waiting on the tape. I know, I know. Hi, Gemini. She doesn't want us to have fun. No, you're fine, you're fine. I take little breaks in between reading anyway. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'll put that right there. Make sure that is turned off. Okay, there we go, there we go. Just setting up another screen here. Perfect. Thank you so much for the hydrate and the stretch. Oh my goodness. Annoying. It's just planning on being a brat, yeah. Thickums, Mickey, Chunky Cat. He's good. He's actually next to me. He's asleep though. He's passed out in his hammock, in his big hammock. Self-care package. Thank you so much. Shocked Vanch is reading without many issues. I'm not that bad of a reader. But speaking of, let's get back to it. What did they draw? Said Alice, quite forgetting her promise. Treacle, said the Dormouse, without considering it all this time. I want a clean cup, interrupted the Hatter. Let's all move one place on. He moved on as he spoke, and the Dormouse followed him. The March Hare moved into the Dormouse's place, and Alice rather unwillingly took the place of the March Hare. The Hatter was the only one who got any advantage from the change, and Alice was a good deal worse off than before, as the March Hare had just upset the milk jug into his plate. Alice did not wish to offend the Dormouse again, so she began very cautiously. But I don't understand. Where did they draw the treacle from? Hi, Tiger Shark. You can draw water out of a water well, said the Hatter, so I should think you could draw treacle out of a treacle well. Eh? Stupid? But they were in the well, Alice said to the Dormouse, not choosing to notice this last remark. Of course they were, said the Dormouse. Well, in. This answer so confused poor Alice that she let the Dormouse go on for some time without interrupting it. They were learning to draw, the Dormouse went on, yawning and rubbing its eyes. For it was getting very sleepy, and they drew all manner of things, everything that begins with an M. Why with an M? Said Alice. Why not? Said the March Hare. Alice was silent. The Dormouse had closed its eyes by this time and was going off into a doze, but on being pinched by the Hatter, it woke up again with a little shriek and went on. That begins with an M, such as mousetraps and the moon and memory and muchness. You know you say things are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a muchness? Really, now you ask me, said Alice, very much confused. I don't think then you shouldn't talk, said the Hatter. This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up in great disgust and walked off. The dormouse fell asleep instantly, and neither of the others took the least notice of her going, though she looked back once or twice, half hoping that they would call after her. The last time she saw them, they were trying to put the dormouse into the teapot. At any rate, I'll never go there again, said Alice as she picked her way through the wood. Jesus, okay. It's the stupidest tea party I ever was at in all my life. Just as she said this, she noticed that one of the trees had a door leading right into it. That's very curious, she thought. But everything's curious today. I think I may as well go in at once. And in she went. Once more she found herself in the long hall, and close to the little glass table. Now, I'll manage better this time, she said to herself, and began by taking the little golden key and unlocking the door that led into the garden. Then she went to work nibbling at the mushroom. She had kept a piece of it in her pocket, till she was about a foot high. Then she walked down the little passage, and then she found herself at last in the beautiful garden, among the bright flower beds and the cool fountains. Pavlovian response. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's been a thing for a while. It's hard for me to not yawn when even when I see the word. Chapter 8. The Queen's Croquet. Oh god. Yeah, croquet. I called it croquette last time, right? It's croquet ground. The Queen's Croquet Ground. I swear to God, I'm so bad. I got it, thank you. I'm so bad at pronunciations. A large rose tree stood near the entrance of the garden. The roses growing on it were white, but there were 3 gardeners at it, busily painting them red. Alice thought this a very curious thing, and she went near to watch them, and just as she came up to them, she heard one of them say, "Look out now, 5. Don't go splashing paint over me like that." "I couldn't help it," said 5 in a sulky tone. 7 jogged my elbow. On which 7 looked up and said, "That's right, 5. Always lay the blame on others." "You'd better not talk," said 5. "I heard the Queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded." "What for?" said the one who had spoken first. "That's none of your business, Tues," said 7. "Yes, it is his business," said 5, "and I'll tell him. It was for bringing the cook tulip roots instead of onions." 7 flung down his brush and had just begun. "Well, of all the unjust things," when his eye chanced to fall upon Alice as she stood watching them, and he checked himself suddenly. The others looked round also, and all of them bowed low. "Would you tell me," said Alice a little timidly, "why you were painting those roses?" 5 and 7 said nothing, but looked at 2. 2 began in a low voice. "Why, the fact is, you see, miss, this here ought to have been a red rose tree, and we put a white one in by mistake, and if the Queen was to find out, we should all have our heads cut off, you know. So you see, miss, we're doing our best afore she comes to—" At this moment, 5, who had been anxiously looking across the garden, called out, "The Queen! The Queen!" And the 3 gardeners instantly threw themselves flat upon their faces. There was a sound of many footsteps, and Alice looked round, eager to see the queen. First came 10 soldiers carrying clubs. These were all shaped like the 3 gardeners, oblong and flat, with their hands and feet at the corners. Next, the 10 courtiers. These were ornamented all over with diamonds and walked 2 and 2 as the soldiers did. After these came the royal children. There were solid. There were 10 of them, and the little dears came jumping merrily along hand in hand in couples. They were all ornamented with hearts. Next came the guests, mostly kings and queens, and among them Alice recognized the white rabbit. It was talking in a hurried, nervous manner, smiling at everything that was said, and went by without noticing her. Then followed the Knave of Hearts, carrying the king's crown on a crimson velvet cushion, and last of all this grand procession came the King and Queen of Hearts. Kevin, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing really good. Hi, Civic. Hi, Luciano. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? Trying to manage like 4 different tasks and like combos right now. Innocent. Innocent is a choice. Alice was rather doubtful whether she ought not to lie down on her face like the 3 gardeners, but she could not remember ever having heard of such a rule at processions. And besides, what would be the use of a procession, thought she, if people had all to lie down upon their faces so that they couldn't see it? So she stood still where she was and waited. When the procession came opposite to Alice, all stopped and looked at her, and the queen said severely, "Who is this?" She said it to the Knave of Hearts, who only bowed and smiled in reply. "Idiot," said the queen, tossing her head impatiently. And, turning to Alice, she went on, "What's your name, child?" "My name is Alice, so please your majesty," said Alice, very politely. But she added to herself, "Why, they're only a pack of cards after all. I needn't be afraid of them." "And who are these?" said the queen, pointing to the 3 gardeners who were lying around the rose tree. For, you see, as they were lying on their faces and the pattern on their backs was the same as the rest of the pack, she could not tell whether they were gardeners or soldiers or courtiers, or 3 of her own children. "How should I know?" said Alice, surprised at her own courage. "It's no business of mine." The queen turned crimson with fury, and, after glaring at her for a moment like a wild beast, screamed, "Off with her head! Off!" "Nonsense," said Alice, very loudly and decidedly, and the queen was silent. The king laid his hand upon her arm and timidly said, "Consider, my dear, she is only a child." The queen turned angrily away from him and said to the knave, "Turn them over." The knave did so, very carefully, with 1 foot. "Get up," said the queen, in a shrill, loud voice, and the 3 gardeners instantly jumped up and began bowing to the king, the queen, the royal children, and everybody else. Leave off that, screamed the queen. You make me giddy. And then, turning to the rose tree, she went on. What have you been doing here? May it please your majesty, said Tue in a very humble tone, going down on one knee as he spoke. We were trying. I see, said the queen, who had meanwhile been examining the roses. Off with their heads. And the procession moved on, 3 of the soldiers remaining behind to execute the unfortunate gardeners, who ran to Alice for protection. You shan't be beheaded, said Alice, and she put them into a large flower pot that stood near. The 3 soldiers wandered about for a minute or two, looking for them, and then quietly marched off after the others. Are their heads off? Shouted the queen. Their heads are gone, if it please your majesty, the soldiers shouted in reply. That's right, shouted the queen. Can you play croquet? The soldiers were silent and looked at Alice, as the question was evidently meant for her. Yes, shouted Alice. Come on, then, roared the queen, and Alice joined the procession, wondering very much what would happen next. It's a very fine day, said a timid voice at her side. She was walking by the white rabbit, who was peeping anxiously into her face. Very, said Alice. Where's the Duchess? Hush, hush, said the rabbit in a low, hurried tone. Excuse me. He looked anxiously over his shoulder as he spoke, and then raised himself upon tiptoe, put his mouth close to her ear, and whispered, She's under sentence of execution. What for? Said Alice. Did you say, what a pity? The rabbit asked. No, I didn't, said Alice. I don't think it's at all a pity. I said, what for? She boxed the queen's ears, the rabbit began. Alice gave a little scream of laughter. Oh, hush, the rabbit whispered in a frightened tone. The queen will hear you. You see, she came rather late, and the queen said, Get to your places, shouted the queen in a voice of thunder. And people began running about in all directions, tumbling up against each other. However, they got settled down in a minute or two, and the game began. Alice thought she had never seen such a curious croquet ground in her life. It was all ridges and furrows. The balls were live hedgehogs, the mallets live flamingos, and the soldiers had to double themselves up and to stand on their hands and feet to make the arches. The chief difficulty Alice found at first was in managing her flamingo. She succeeded in getting its body tucked away comfortably enough under her arm with its legs hanging down, but generally, just as she had got its neck nicely straightened out and was going to give the hedgehog a blow with its head, it would twist itself round and look up in her face with such a puzzled expression that she could not help bursting out laughing. And when she had got its head down and was going to begin again, it was very provoking to find that the hedgehog had unrolled itself and was in the act of crawling away. Besides all this, there was generally a ridge or furrow in the way wherever she wanted to send the hedgehog to, and as the doubled up soldiers were always getting up and walking off to other parts of the ground, Alice soon came to the conclusion that it was a very difficult game indeed. The players all played at once without waiting for turns. quarreling all the while and fighting for the hedgehogs. And in a very short time, the queen was in a furious passion and went stamping about and shouting, "Off with his head," or "Off with her head," about once in a minute. Alice began to feel very uneasy. To be sure, she had not as yet had any dispute with the queen, but she knew that it might happen any minute. And then, thought she, what would become of me? They're dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is that there's anyone left alive. She was looking about for some way of escape and wondering whether she could get away without being seen, when she noticed a curious appearance in the air. It puzzled her very much at first, but after watching it a minute or two, she made it out to be a grin, and she said to herself, "It's the Cheshire Cat. Now I shall have somebody to talk to." Thank you for the stretch. Oh my goodness. Just reminded me that I played a board game a few weeks ago where you're the queen's gardener, trying to paint the roses before the queen catches you. That sounds fun. The soldiers aren't paid enough for that BS, I know. I'm not gonna wake him up just to stretch him. Night night, solid. Okay. "How are you getting on?" said the cat, as soon as there was mouth enough for it to speak with. Alice waited till the eyes appeared and then nodded. It's no use speaking to it, she thought, till its ears have come, or at least one of them. In another minute the whole head appeared, and then Alice put down her flamingo and began an account of the game, feeling very glad she had someone to listen to her. The cat seemed to think that there was enough of it now in sight, and no more of it appeared. "I don't think they play it all fairly," Alice began, in rather a complaining tone. "And they all quarrel so dreadfully, one can't hear oneself speak. And they don't seem to have any rules in particular. At least, if there are, nobody attends to them. And you've no idea how confusing it is, all the things being alive. For instance, there's the arch I've got to go through next, walking about at the other end of the ground, and I should have croqueted the queen's hedgehog just now, only it ran away when it saw mine coming." "How do you like the queen?" said the cat in a low voice. "Not at all," said Alice. "She's so extremely—" Just then she noticed that the queen was close behind her, listening. So she went on, "Likely to win, that it's hardly worthwhile finishing the game." The queen smiled and passed on. "Who are you talking to?" said the king, going up to Alice and looking at the cat's head with great curiosity. "It's a friend of mine, a Cheshire cat," said Alice. "Allow me to introduce it." "I don't like the look of it at all," said the king. "However, it may kiss my hand if it likes." "I'd rather not," the cat remarked. "Don't be impertinent," said the king. "And don't look at me like that." He got behind Alice as he spoke. A cat may look at a king, said Alice. I've read that in some book, but I don't remember where. Hi, Shadow. Welcome in. Well, it must be removed, said the king very decidedly, and he called the queen, who was passing at the moment. My dear, I wish you would have this cat removed. The queen had only one way of settling all difficulties, great or small. Off with his head, she said, without even looking round. I'll fetch the executioner myself, said the king eagerly, and he hurried off. Alice thought she might as well go back and see how the game was going on as she heard the queen's voice in the distance, screaming with passion. She had already heard her sentence 3 of the players to be executed for having missed their turns, and she did not like the look of things at all, as the game was in such confusion that she never knew whether it was her turn or not. So she went in search of her hedgehog. The hedgehog was engaged in a fight with another hedgehog, which seemed to Alice an excellent opportunity for croqueting one of them with the other. The only difficulty was that her flamingo was gone across to the other side of the garden, where Alice could see it trying in a helpless sort of way to fly up into a tree. By the time she had caught the flamingo and brought it back, the fight was over, and both the hedgehogs were out of sight. But it doesn't matter much, thought Alice, as all the arches are gone from this side of the ground. So she tucked it away under her arm that it might not escape again, and went back for a little more conversation with her friend. When she got back to the Cheshire Cat, she was surprised to find quite a large crowd collected around it. There was a dispute going on between the executioner, the king, and the queen, who were all talking at once, while all the rest were quite silent and looked very uncomfortable. The moment Alice appeared, she was appealed to by all 3 to settle the question, and they repeated their arguments to her, as they all spoke at once, she found it very hard indeed to make out exactly what they said. The executioner's argument was that you couldn't cut off a head unless there was a body to cut it off from. That he had never had to do such a thing before, and he wasn't going to begin at his time of life. The king's argument was that anything that had a head could be beheaded, and that you weren't to talk nonsense. The queen's argument was that if something wasn't done about it in less than no time, she'd have everybody executed, all round. It was this last remark that had made the whole party look so grave and anxious. Alice could think of nothing else to say but, "It belongs to the Duchess. You'd better ask her about it." "She's in prison," the queen said to the executioner. "Fetch her here." And the executioner went off like an arrow. The cat's head began fading away the moment he was gone, and by the time he had come back with the Duchess, it had entirely disappeared. So the king and the executioner ran wildly up and down looking for it, while the rest of the party went back to the game. Thank you for the alert, Connor. For some reason, I want this whole interaction as a replacement for the Skyrim intro. Yes. Oh, goodness. Chapter 9, The Mock Turtle Story. You can't think how glad I am to see you again, you dear old thing, said the Duchess, as she tucked her arm affectionately into Alice's, and they walked off together. Alice was very glad to find her in such a pleasant temper, and thought to herself that perhaps it was only the pepper that had made her so savage when they met in the kitchen. When I'm a duchess, she said to herself, not in a very hopeful tone, though, I won't have any pepper in my kitchen at all. Soup does very well without. Maybe it's always pepper that makes people hot-tempered, she went on, very much pleased at having found out a new kind of rule. And vinegar that makes them sour, and chamomile that makes them bitter, and barley sugar and such things that make children sweet-tempered. I only wish people knew that. Then they wouldn't be so stingy about it, you know. She had quite forgotten the Duchess by this time, and was a little startled when she heard her voice close to her ear. You're thinking about something, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't tell you just now what the moral of that is, but I shall remember it in a bit. Perhaps it hasn't one, Alice ventured to remark. Tut, tut, child, said the Duchess. Everything's got a moral, if only you can find it. And she squeezed herself up closer to Alice's side as she spoke. Alice did not much like keeping so close to her. First, because the Duchess was very ugly, and secondly, because she was exactly the right height to rest her chin upon Alice's shoulder, and it was an uncomfortably sharp chin. However, she did not like to be rude, so she bore it as well as she could. The game's going on rather better now, she said, by way of keeping up the conversation a little. 'Tis so, said the Duchess, and the moral of that is, oh, 'tis love. 'Tis love that makes the world go round. Are you okay? Are you okay? I think my cat's about to sneeze. You good, kid? Okay. I think you're gonna make it. Did the chunk wake up? Yeah, he just woke up. I think he's gonna try to go back to sleep though. How fond she is of finding morals in things, Alice thought to herself. Thank you for the head pats. I dare say you're wondering why I don't put my arm round your waist, the Duchess said after a pause. The reason is that I'm doubtful about the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try the experiment? I now have you on audio only so I can read the book and listen to you early from this. Oh, nice, nice. Good. Good, that makes me happy. He might be, Alice cautiously replied, not feeling at all anxious to have the experiment tried. Very true, said the Duchess. Flamingos and mustard both bite. And the moral of that is, birds of a feather flock together. Oh, easily. Only mustard isn't a bird, Alice remarked. Right, as usual, said the Duchess. What a clear way you have of putting things. It's a mineral, I think, said Alice. Of course it is, said the Duchess, who seemed ready to agree to everything that Alice said. There's a large mustard mine near here, and the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours. Oh, I know, exclaimed Alice, who had not attended to the last remark. It's a vegetable. It doesn't look like one, but it is. I quite agree with you, said the Duchess. And the moral of that is, be what you would seem to be. Or, if you'd like it put more simply, never imagine yourself not to be otherwise than what it might appear to others that what you were or might have been was not otherwise than what you had been would have appeared to them to be otherwise. I think I should understand that better, Alice said very politely, if I had written it down, but I can't quite follow it as you say it. That's nothing to what I could say if I chose, the Duchess replied in a pleased tone. Pray don't trouble yourself to say it any longer than that, said Alice. Oh, don't talk about trouble, said the Duchess. I make you a present of everything I've said as yet. A cheap sort of present, thought Alice. I'm glad they don't give birthday presents like that. But she did not venture to say it out loud. Thinking again, said the Duchess, the Duchess asked, with another dig of her sharp little chin. I'm a right to think, said Alice sharply, for she was beginning to feel a little worried. Just about as much right, said the Duchess, as pigs have to fly, and the Melly. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's Melly. Hi, Melly. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in. Carrot. Raiders, are you listening? How was your stream? How was your stream? How was your stream? You were playing some Fortnite. How was Fortnite? How was Fortnite? Did y'all win? Did y'all win? Did you do the thing? Did you do the thing? Also, if y'all don't know me, my name is Banshee. I'm a ghost. I do ASMR. I do some reading, which is what we're doing tonight. And we play horror games. Horror games around these parts. Melly, of course, please do your stream aftercare. Fortnite, you have my interest. Soggy, follow her now. Follow her right now. If you're not following Melly, that goes for all of you. Look into it. Do the thing. Do the thing. She has a lovely voice. Lovely voice. I feel like we have like we're trying to like adopt Melly into our friend group. She and I will be, you're the sweetest. Hi Ruben, welcome in. Yeah, she and I will be playing a spooky game sometime next week. Next Thursday, actually. Yeah. So yeah, y'all do it good. Follow her. You won't regret it. But yes, like make sure you're doing your aftercare. Go get some drinks and all this stuff. It's gonna be so fun. I know. I'm so excited. There's an extra cage next to Coon in the basement. Stop it. Oh, you follow her already? I'm so proud of you. That means that you listen to me. I was so proud. So proud. One of us. Yes. But yes, we're reading some Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Dulik, but I hope you have an amazing stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid, darling. You sugar, you melly welly. Okay. I'll must remember this is ASMR. I'm not a scary ghost. It would be foolishness to disregard what you say. I'm not scary. I'm not scary. But let's get back to the book, shall we? Let's get back to the book. But here, to Alice's great surprise, the Duchess's voice died away, even in the middle of her favorite word, moral, and the arm that was linked into hers began to tremble. Alice looked up, and there stood the Queen in front of them, with her arms folded, frowning like a thunderstorm. "A fine day, Your Majesty," the Duchess began in a low, weak voice. "Now, I give you fair warning," shouted the Queen, stamping on the ground as she spoke. "Either you or your head must be off, and that in about half no time. Take your choice." The Duchess took her choice and was gone in a moment. "Let's go on with the game," the Queen said to Alice, and Alice was too much frightened to say a word, but slowly followed her back to the croquet ground. The other guests had taken advantage of the Queen's absence and were resting in the shade. However, the moment they saw her, they hurried back to the game, the Queen merely remarking that a moment's delay would cost them their lives. All the time they were playing, the Queen never left off quarreling with the other players and shouting, "Off with his head," or "Off with her head." Those whom she sentenced were taken into custody by the soldiers, and who of course had to leave off by oh my god, brain, mouth, please, had to leave off being arches to do this, so that by the end of half an hour or so there were no arches left, and all the players, except the King, the Queen, and Alice, were in custody and under sentence of execution. Then the Queen left off, quite out of breath, and said to Alice, "Have you seen the mock turtle yet?" "No," said Alice. "I don't even know what a mock turtle is." "It's the thing mock turtle soup is made from," said the Queen. "I never saw one or heard of one," said Alice. "Come on then," said the Queen, "and he shall tell you his story." As they walked off together, Alice heard the King say in a low voice to the company generally, "You are all pardoned." "Come, that's a good thing," she said to herself, for she had felt quite unhappy at the number of executions the Queen had ordered. They very soon came upon a griffin, lying fast asleep in the sun. If you don't know what a griffin is, look at the picture. "Up, lazy thing," said the Queen, "and take this young lady to see the mock turtle and to hear his history. I must go back and see after some executions I have ordered." And she walked off, leaving Alice alone with the griffin. Alice did not quite like the look of the creature, but on the whole she thought it would be quite as safe to stay with it as to go after that savage Queen, so she waited. Jadis, Jodis, Jadis, are you listening? The griffin sat up and rubbed its eyes. Then it watched the Queen till she was out of sight. Then it chuckled. "What fun," said the griffin, half to itself, half to Alice. What is the fun? Said Alice. Why, she, said the Griffin. It's all her fancy, that. They never executes nobody, you know. Come on. Everybody says come on here, thought Alice as she went slowly after it. I never was so ordered about in all my life. Never. They had not gone far before they saw the mock turtle in the distance, sitting sad and lonely on a little ledge of rock, and as they came near, Alice could hear him sighing as if his heart would break. She pitied him deeply. What is his sorrow? She asked the Griffin, and the Griffin answered very nearly in the same words as before. It's all his fancy, that. He hasn't got no sorrow, you know. Come on. Deathfang, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing super good. I'm currently listening to the real Slim Shady. Ooh, good game, good game. I've never played it, but I've seen gameplay of it. Hey, Dark Man, welcome in. So they went up to the mock turtle, who looked at them with large eyes full of tears, but said nothing. This here young lady, said the Griffin, she wants for to know your history, she do. I'll tell it her, said the mock turtle in a deep, hollow tone. Sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word till I've finished. Kurosasuri, thank you so much for the follow. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. Feel free to correct me. I hope you're doing good. So they sat down and nobody spoke for some minutes. Alice thought to herself, I don't see how he can ever finish if he doesn't begin. But she waited patiently. Once, said the mock turtle at last with a deep sigh, I was a real turtle. These words were followed by a very long silence, broken only by an occasional exclamation of I don't know how to say this. Hitchikabra from the Griffin and the constant heavy sobbing of the mock turtle. Alice was very nearly getting up and saying, Thank you, sir, for your interesting story. But she could not help thinking there must be more to come, so she sat still and said nothing. I butchered it. I probably did. I never mean to, but I probably did. When we were little, the mock turtle went on at last, more calmly, though still sobbing a little now and then. We went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise. Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one? Alice asked. We called him Tortoise because he taught us, said the mock turtle angrily. Really, you are very dull. I wrote Banshee gibberish into the book for you. Like, it's literally like HJ, where is it? HJCKRRH. Beachy. Are you listening? You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question. Oh, wait, where am I? Added the Griffin. And then they both sat silent and looked at poor Alice, who felt ready to sink into the earth. At last the Griffin said to the Mock Turtle, "Drive on, old fellow. Don't be all day about it." And he went on in these words. Excuse me. "Yes, we went to school in the sea, though you mayn't believe it." "I never said I didn't," interrupted Alice. "You did," said the Mock Turtle. "Hold your tongue," added the Griffin, before Alice could speak again. Oh, my nose. Oh, my God. The Mock Turtle went on. "We had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day. I've been to a day school, too," said Alice. "You needn't be so proud as all that." "With extras?" asked the Mock Turtle a little anxiously. "Yes," said Alice. "We learned French and music." "And washing?" said the Mock Turtle. "Certainly not," said Alice indignantly. "Ah, then yours wasn't a really good school," said the Mock Turtle in a tone of great relief. "Now at ours, they had at the end of the bill French, music, and washing. Extra." "You couldn't have wanted it much," said Alice, "living at the bottom of the sea." "I couldn't afford to learn it," said the Mock Turtle with a sigh. "I only took the regular course." "What was that?" inquired Alice. "Reeling and writhing, and, of course, to begin with," the Mock Turtle replied. "And then the different branches of arithmetic, ambition, distraction, uglification, and derision." "I never heard of uglification," Alice ventured to say. "What is it?" The Griffin lifted up both its paws in surprise. "What? Never heard of uglifying?" it exclaimed. "You know what to beautify is, I suppose." "Yes," said Alice doubtfully. "It means to make anything prettier." "Well, then," the Griffin went on, "if you don't know what to uglify is, you are a simpleton." Joda's subscribing with the 1 month. Look at this subby there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate that. I sure do appreciate. I really do. Oh, that's right. We're the Griffin's calling Alice a simpleton here. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't turn off the Southern accent redeem. Chat, do we do it? Do we do it and then make sure that it's turned off, or fuck. You know what? We'll do it. We'll do it this one time and then make sure that I turn it the fuck off. If you're new around these parts, I have a Southern accent redeem. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry in advance. Alice did not feel encouraged to ask any more questions about it. So she turned to the Mock Turtle and said, "What else had ye to learn?" "Well, there was a mystery." The Mock Turtle replied, counting off the subjects on its flappers. "A mystery, ancient and modern, with seaography, then drawing. The drawing master was an old Congress, Congareel, I don't know, that used to come once a week. He taught us drawing, stretching, and fainting in coils." "What was that like?" said Alice. "Well, I can't show it to you myself, the Mock Turtle said. I'm too stiff. And the Griffin never learned it. I hate this. Hadn't time, said the Griffin. I went to the classics master, though. He was an old crab, he was. I never went to him, the Mock Turtle said with a sigh. He taught laughing and grief, they used to say. So he did, said the Griffin, sighing in his turn, and both creatures hid their faces in their paws. And how many hours a day did you do lessons? Said Alice, in a hurry to change the subject. 10 hours the first day, said the Mock Turtle. 9 the next, and so on. What a curious plan, exclaimed Alice. That's the reason they're called lessons, the Griffin remarked, because they lesson from day to day. I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here. Darkness, this fucking accent, man. Darkness, Shan. Thank you so much for the follow. I normally don't talk like this, but we're in the middle of a southern accent redeem, and here we are. This is my life right now. Hi, Gamma. This was quite a new idea to Alice, and she thought it over a little before she made her next remark. Then the 11th day must have been a holiday? Of course it was, said the Mock Turtle. Yogi, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. You pushed us. You pushed us into a hype train again. You died? How did this happen? Why am I here? Hi. Were you implanted from Melly, perhaps? Maybe. Ah, ow, ow. I think I went to hell, guys. Jonas, thank you so much for the 2 community gifted subs. Thank you so much. Y'all sweetie pies. You sweetie pies. This is what happens. Southern accent's not, no. I am from the South. I am from the South, but I have more of like the Western neutral like US accent. I don't know. Oh, it only comes out usually when I'm really sleepy or or tipsy, I guess. Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much. Pushed us into a level 2 hype train. It's very sweet of you. Ruben with the 100 biddies. Thank you, Ruben. Hi, Danny. Where am I? The 11th day must have been a holiday. Of course it was, said the Mock Turtle. And how did you manage on the 12th? Alice went on eagerly. That's enough about lessons, the Griffin interrupted in a very decided tone. Tell her something about the games now. Never got an emote last time. Why does they keep fucking you over, Shadow? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh god, not the sneezes again tonight. I feel like it did that last. Oh god, not again. Not again. Okay. Excuse me. Chapter 10. Hurricane warning, take shelter. Oh, you got the balloon dog last night, okay. Maybe it's just slow to loading for you or something? I don't know. I wish I knew more about it, honestly. Yeah, the chunky he's sleeping. He's asleep, Holy, I'm on the 200 inch. Oh my goodness, that's a bunch of phrasing is not great here. That's a bunch of inches. Yeah, I don't know, Shadow. I don't know. Like I said, I wish I did. 'Cause that's annoying. That's a little bit annoying. And we're 6 minutes off today. Okay, cool. Anyway, you dropped a picture in the Discord. I'll have to look at it. I was almost out of context gold. I heard it before. Like, I heard it in my head. I knew. Oh, goodness. Soggy. Basically as tall as you are. Oh my goodness. All right. Chapter 10. The Lobster Quadrille. The mock turtle sighed deeply and drew the back of one flapper across his eye. His eyes. Not one eye. Both eyes. He looked at Alice and tried to speak, but for a minute or two sobs choked his voice. Same as if he had a bone in his throat, said the griffin, and it set to work shaking him and punching him in the back. At last, the mock turtle recovered his voice, and with tears running down his cheeks, he went on again. You may not have lived much under the sea. I haven't, said Alice. And perhaps you were never even introduced to a lobster. Alice began to say, I once tasted, but checked herself hastily and said, no, never. So you can have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is. No, indeed, said Alice. What sort of a dance is it? Why, said the griffin, you first form into a line along the seashore. 2 lines, cried the mock turtle. Seals, turtles, salmon, and so on. Then, when you've cleared all the jellyfish out of the way, that generally takes some time, interrupted the griffin. You advance twice, each with a lobster as a partner, cried the griffin. Of course, the mock turtle said. Advance twice, set to partners, change lobsters and retire in seam order, continued the griffin. Then, the mock turtle went on, you throw the lobsters, shouted the griffin, with a bound into the air. As far out to sea as you can. Swim after them, screamed the griffin. Turn a somersault in the sea, cried the mock turtle, capering wildly about. Change lobsters again, yelled the griffin at the top of its voice. Back to land again, and that's all the first figure, said the mock turtle, suddenly dropping his voice, and the 2 creatures, who had been jumping about like mad things all this time, sat down again very sadly and quietly, and looked at Alice. It must be a very pretty dance, said Alice timidly. Would you like to see a little of it? Said the mock turtle. Very much indeed, said Alice. Come, let's try the first figure, said the mock turtle to the griffin. We can do without lobsters, you know. Which shall sing? Oh, you sing, said the griffin. I've forgotten the words. So they began solemnly dancing round and round Alice, every now and then treading on her toes when they passed too close, and waving their forepaws to mark the time, while the mock turtle sang this, very slowly and sadly. "Will you walk a little faster?" said a whiting to a snail. "There's a purpose close behind you, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you? Will you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, won't you join the dance? You can really have no notion how delightful it will be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea." But the snail replied, too far, and gave a lick askance. Said he thanked the whiting kindly, but he would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not, would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not join the dance. "What matters it how far we go?" his scaly friend replied. "There is another shore, you know, upon the other side. The further off from England, the nearer is to France. Then turn not pale, beloved snail, but come and join the dance. Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Will you join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Won't you join the dance?" Hi, Orange. Welcome in. The cats on the cat tree are also enjoying. That's adorable. I need to look. Thank you for the head pats, Ruben. I've got to look. I've got to see. It's driving me crazy. Oh, let me see. I want to see. Oh, that's so cool. That's actually really neat. All right. Thank you. It's a very interesting dance to watch, said Alice, feeling very glad that it was over at last. And I do so like that curious song about the whiting. Oh, as to the whiting, said the mock turtle, you've seen them, of course. Yes, said Alice. I've often seen them at Den. She checked herself hastily. I don't know where Den may be, said the mock turtle, but if you've seen them so often, of course, you know what they're like. I believe so, Alice replied thoughtfully. They have their tails in their mouths, and they're all over crumbs. Tell their smart speakers to rickroll them. You're wrong about the crumbs, said the mock turtle. Crumbs would all wash off in the sea. But they have their tails in their mouths, and the reason is... Here, the mock turtle yawned and shut his eyes. Tell her about the reason and all that, he said to the griffin. The reason is, said the griffin, that they would go with the lobsters to the dance. So they got thrown out to sea. So they had to fall a long way. So they got their tails fast in their mouths. So they couldn't get them out again. That's all. Excuse me, oh my god. Thank you, said Alice. Okay. Thank you, said Alice. It's very interesting. I never knew so much about a whiting before. I can tell you more than that if you like, said the Griffin. Do you know why it's called a whiting? I never thought about it, said Alice. Why? It does the boots and shoes, the Griffin replied very solemnly. Alice was thoroughly puzzled. Does the boots and shoes? She repeated in a wondering tone. Why, what are your shoes done with? Said the Griffin. I mean, what makes them so shiny? Alice looked down at them and considered a little before she gave her answer. They're done with blacking, I believe. Boots and shoes under the sea, the Griffin went on in a deep voice, are done with a whiting. Now you know. And what are they made of? Alice asked in a tone of great curiosity. Soles and eels, of course, the Griffin replied rather impatiently. Any shrimp could have told you that. If I'd been the whiting, said Alice, whose thoughts were still running on the song, I'd have said to the porpoise, keep back, please. We don't want you with us. They were obliged to have him with them, the Mock Turtle said. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise. Wouldn't it really? Said Alice in a tone of great surprise. Of course not, said the Mock Turtle. Why, if a fish came to me and told me he was going a journey, I should say, with what purpose? Don't you mean purpose? Said Alice. I mean what I say, the Mock Turtle replied in an offended tone. And the Griffin added, Come, let's hear some of your adventures. I could tell you my adventures, beginning from this morning, said Alice a little timidly. But it's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Explain all that, said the Mock Turtle. No, the adventures first, said the Griffin in an impatient tone. Explanations take such a dreadful time. I feel like the book sometimes does more puns than chat. Yes. Oh my goodness. So Alice began telling them her adventures from the time when she first saw the white rabbit. She was a little nervous about it just at first. The two creatures got so close to her, one on each side, and opened their eyes and mouths so very wide. But she gained courage as she went on. Her listeners were perfectly quiet till she got to the part about her repeating, You are old, Father William, to the caterpillar, and the words all coming different. And then the Mock Turtle drew a long breath and said, That's very curious. It's all about as curious as it can be, said the Griffin. It's all came different, the Mock Turtle repeated thoughtfully. I should like to hear her try and repeat something now. Tell her to begin. He looked at the Griffin as if he thought it had some kind of authority over Alice. Stand up and repeat. 'Tis the voice of the sluggard, said the Griffin. How the creatures order one about and make one repeat lessons, thought Alice. I might as well be at school at once. However, she got up and began to repeat it, but Her head was so full of the lobster quadrille that she hardly knew what she was saying, and the words came very queer indeed. Alright, we are going to take a short break, a very short break, because I need to go pee. And it means what it says. But they respond to a non-standard wake word. Okay, well that's smart. That is smart. Let me find... This. Wee. Yeah, break time, break time, break time. Oops. Just put it right there on my forehead. On my forehead, my 5 head, whatever. The Rickroll video got taken down and the account removed from YouTube. What? Did it really? Yeah, go get yourself some snacks. Get yourself snacks and stuff. And get up, stretch your legs, all the things. And that's crazy if that's true. That's crazy. And yeah, we'll be back soon. I'll be back soon. Okay. We're back. 1.7 billion. Your stream now. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay. That's fair. Welcome whack. Oh my goodness. We have finished the tea. We are moving on to the water. Ooh. It was a hiccup, but thank you. There we go. Okay. Hi, Nessif. Okay. Water's not bad. What do you mean? What on earth do you mean? No, whoops. So we're right here. How much more is there of the book? I wonder. A few chapters. Yeah, oh well. I don't think we're gonna finish it tonight, folks. We're gonna finish this chapter for sure, but I don't think we'll be finishing tonight. That's okay though. That means we'll finish it. We'll finish it next week, and then we'll move on to the next one. Has reignited your interest in reading? Soggy, that makes me so happy. That makes me like unreasonably... Sorry, I'm putting my cough drops back up. That makes me so happy. Like that genuinely, truly does. That's so cool. I love reading so much. Like salt water, you float in it. Oh, thank you, Sin. Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna finish this chapter and just kind of probably just yap for a little bit and before sleepy time. What book is next? I don't know because we could go to the next Alice book. Because there are two, aren't there? That there's potential for that. Um, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. Lots and lots and lots of options. Yeah, I believe there are two books. So what's the one, Down the Looking Glass or something like that? I have a lot of books on my to read pile. Through the Looking Glass. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's continue on. We can talk about it a little more after. About Clifford. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I haven't thought about Clifford in forever. Here we are. Okay. 'Tis the voice of the lobster, I heard him declare. You have baked me too brown, I must sugar my hair. As a duck with its eyelids, so he with his nose trims his belt and his buttons and turns out his toes. Later editions continued as follows. When the sands are all dry, he is gay as a lark, and will talk in contemptuous tones of the shark. But when the tide rises and sharks are around, his voice has a timid and tremulous sound. That's different from what I used to say when I was a child, said the Gryphon. Well, I never heard it before, said the Mock Turtle, but it sounds uncommon nonsense. Alice said nothing. She had sat down with her face in her hands, wondering if anything would ever happen in a natural way again. I should like to have it explained, said the Mock Turtle. She can't explain it, said the Gryphon hastily. Go on with the next verse. But about his toes, the Mock Turtle persisted. How could he turn them out with his nose, you know? It's the first position in dancing, Alice said, but was dreadfully puzzled by the whole thing and longed to change the subject. Go on with the next verse, the Gryphon repeated impatiently. It begins, I passed by his garden. Alice did not dare to disobey, though she felt sure it would all come wrong, and she went on in a trembling voice. I passed by his garden and marked with one eye how the owl and the panther were sharing a pie. Later editions continued as follows. The panther took pie crust and gravy and meat, while the owl had the dish as its share of the treat. When the pie was all finished, the owl, as a boon, was kindly permitted to pocket the spoon, while the panther received knife and fork with a growl and concluded the banquet. What is the use of repeating all that stuff? The Mock Turtle interrupted, if you don't explain it as you go on. It's by far the most confusing thing I ever heard. Also, hi Larcade, thank you for the head pats. Yes, I think you'd better leave off, said the Gryphon, and Alice was only too glad to do so. Shall we try another figure of the lobster quadrille? The Gryphon went on. Or would you like the Mock Turtle to sing you a song? Oh, a song, please, if the Mock Turtle would be so kind, Alice replied, so eagerly that the Gryphon said in a rather offended tone, no accounting for tastes. Sing her Turtle Soup, will you, old fellow? The Mock Turtle sighed deeply and began in a voice sometimes choked with sobs to sing this. Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such dainties would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Soup of the evening. Beautiful, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Who cares for fish, game, or any other dish? Who would not give all else for 2 pennyworth only of beautiful soup? Pennyworth only of beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup of the evening. Beautiful, beautiful full soup. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm singing about soup. the original good soup. That's so funny. Scooby Snacks, are you listening? The beautiful soup song, yeah. Who doesn't love a big red dog? Yes. Either read a Borderlands book, Final Fantasy VII remake book, or the Lord of the Rings, which is next. But those are the top contenders. Good. Likely my teens. I'm older now, and a reread is past due. Why are you buying clothes at a soup shop? I can't believe you clipped that. Kronk being satisfied meme. Oh, goodness. Really nice leather bound set that is really nice and addictive to. Ooh. A good set of like oh. Yeah. When you can like actually hold the book and smell it. Oh, okay. What else are you supposed to buy? Soup? I probably will. Yeah. Chorus again, cried the griffin, and the mock turtle had just begun to repeat it when a cry of the trial's beginning was heard in the distance. Come on, cried the griffin, and taking Alice by the hand, it hurried off without waiting for the end of the song. What trial is it? Alice panted as she ran, but the griffin only answered, come on, and ran the faster, while more and more faintly came, carried on the breeze that followed them, the melancholy words, soup of the evening, beautiful soup. So silly. Who Stole the Tarts is the next chapter. So we're in chapter 11. Yeah, I'm not gonna start it because I won't. We'll go over time with that, and I'd rather yap to y'all for a little bit. The soup store meme is it's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, it's hilarious. Okay. And there's the rest of my cough drop. And let me write down. Where's my pen? We will be on chapter 11 next Tuesday. Adventures in Wonderland. Chapter 11 XI. I don't find it funny. That's okay. Erase the oh my god. It's supposed to be -25 tomorrow. Like that kind of temperature, those kind of temperatures that you deal with, they don't even compute. They don't even compute in my head. Like I don't I don't get it. How do you live? How do you survive? Like like truly, how? So I see 65.2 sounds good to me. You stay in, well, yeah, like stay indoors. Oh my god, yeah. Cold is good. I mean, normal cold is good. That's extreme. Like let's be real. Let's be so for real. -60 in January. Oh my god. That's crazy. I can't imagine. Like I literally can't imagine. Time to go swimming. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to click that. Let's see. So I have, in lieu of, where's my little list? I do have a little list. It's a list that we've been kind of working on, of potential books to move on from. Because we have The Barber of Fleet Street, which is Sweeney Todd. We have The War of the Worlds. We have Dracula. A Picture of Dorian Gray. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And like I said, Through the Looking Glass is an option. Tell me no one in here watched me try to catch that skiddo 45 times in Discord. Thank you, that is encouraging. That's so funny. The Giver? I don't think I have. What's The Giver? Oh, it's one that I would have to read off stream for sure. It's a dystopian novel about a seemingly utopian society that has eliminated pain and conflict through sameness, but also erased emotion, color, and choice. Oh, goodness. Haven't read that book in forever. It was Skidoo. Yeah, Dracula for free on Google Play Books. That makes me think of, because I've got a big thing for dystopian stories, novels, and such, and like when we read, like I read Clockwork Orange in school. I read Brave New World, 1984, all of those. Started reading a book but haven't picked it up since I read the prologue. Legend of Sleepy Hollow you enjoyed? I haven't read it. I have not read it, so that is definitely an option. The main character literally has a special job to retain memories of everything that was erased from everyone's lives. It's so interesting. It's so interesting what they do. Like how they the different I don't know, the different ways that they go about like how to like police and maintain society and order and all that stuff. I feel like since 2020 we have been living in a dystopian novel. Yeah. Well, I mean, like the year, like 2020 and 2021 felt like those. Yeah, yeah. I'll just say yes, just yes to that for sure. Gotta go back further than that. Ah, goodness, 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 goodness. We've been in one longer than that. It's, yeah. I won't go into it here because, you know, I'm just a VTuber, but yeah. I'll just say yes to all of that. Ironically, 1984. My goodness, my goodness. Let's see. What should we Google? Public domain books. I'm just a VTuber. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know. I don't consider it the right platform for certain talk and such. You read a book, or the book you read. I sadly have to leave because I know she'll look at. Well, don't be sad about that. My God, go give your girl some cuddles. Be the good boyfriend that I know you better be, and give that girl some cuddles. Main books to read. I don't know. See, we read the best one already. Let's browse. Let's browse. Societal rules. Bye, Civic. Have a good night. Take notes. My dude. Here we go. Science fiction and horror. What's on here? What's on here? We have War of the Worlds on here. We have Dracula on here. We've already read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I've never heard of that. Have you thought of Ametis, you want to hear something cringe and funny about that? You want to hear something really, really cringe and funny? I read it too. No, I read it too. Trust me. Oh wait, you read the Yellow Wallpaper, but Ametis for Valentine's Day. I happily watched Twilight, and I because I do actually like I actually will, like, every year, like roughly every year or so, I'll go through the Twilight movies. And so sometime this week I'm gonna watch the second one. I read them too. I cringe it past me, but it's fine. Like, you know, it's fine. Sparkles. I had a similar thing happen. I read the first book because I got it as a gift. Well, my friends were into it, and peer pressure is a bitch. I don't regret it. They're dumb, but what? Yeah, no, like I see them as guilty pleasures because, like I said, like roughly every year or so, I I go through the movies. Like I've not subjected myself to 50 Shades of Grey because that is somehow worse. I would not. I I read the first book, the first 50 Shades of Grey. That book, no, it was bad. It was really bad. The writing was so much worse. Reading Twilight killed some of my brain cells. I don't think it did any of that, but like it was just one of those things, man. What other books are on here? I might put yellow wallpaper. Let me add that to the list as potential. Whoopsie. Yellow wallpaper by Charlotte. Oh my god, please. Gilman. Oh, compared to the book talk, yeah, honestly, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was a fanfic. That is super true. I see people posting that freaky shit. Eventually Perfector Southern and read it and in it without laughing, then I can die happy. It's never gonna happen. Used to watch Twilight and I still don't see the appeal. It's just it's just something. I don't know. Or one of those, it's so bad I can't stop watching it things. Yeah, like it's if you break down like if you break down parts of it, like it's really not good, but it's just fun to watch. Needs to write a horror novel though. She's legit good at describing horrific scenes. She is actually. I can agree with that. Hi Elf, welcome in. We're doing good. We're just yapping. We got to kind of a stopping point in our story, in our bedtime story. I love watching Twilight with friends and mocking it. Oh my god, yeah. I will enjoy, like I'll watch it and like enjoy myself, but also mock plenty of the things that should be mocked. Yeah, we just vibing. Oh god, the imprinting scene. Oh my god. Yes. I love slander. Maintaining the agenda is our top priority. It is. Nah, you're good, Elf. That's why we got VODs. You're good. I always thought it was awful until I watched the big wolf fight. Stowe and the wolves yelling at each other in English was so fucking big. I still have the last Twilight movie and had no choice but to piss off everyone, and I love it for that. I unashamedly loved the last Twilight movie. I thought how they did the fight, like the final fight. I thought that was actually I actually thought it was really clever if I could speak. I couldn't finish the second book. I remember when on a road trip with the family, we stopped in Forks. That's crazy. And I firmly stayed put in the car the entire time. From what I saw, it was purely a tourist trap. Oh my god, I'm sure. Spoilers. Oh no, you don't want to know. Oh, imprinting thing is creepy. Yeah, you'll survive. We should have, you know what? We should have a Twilight watch party at some point in the Discord. I think we should. I think we should. I think that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, right. I'm so down. I think I might dip. Movie's old enough to have a driver's license. That's true. They are. They're actually like super fucking funny to watch now. It's the only one. It was the only option they had. Everyone who read the books was like, "What the fuck?" They just killed all my favorite characters, and everyone who didn't read them was like, "What the fuck?" None of it happened. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I loved it though. I liked that they did that. If the queen insists, it's funny. It's actually really funny to watch now. We met the entire Cullen cast at Mega. Oh, cool. Last year, we had a toddler with us who was screaming. They came over. Oh, that's so cute. They came over and soothed my kid. It was wild. That's so cute. That's actually super wholesome. Absolute peak cinema. The vampire baseball scene is pure yeah. Plus a fucking banger song they chose to do. That Muse song. Best comedy of the year. That's crazy because like we got Robert Pattinson out of that, who is like actually one hell of an actor. Like a really good actor. Pattinson. I loved the Batman. I thought it was yeah. And he's only gonna be in the second part of that. Like he's only gonna be Batman for 2 movies, basically. Yeah, me too. He's noir Batman. The yeah, hood Batman. Absolutely. I watched Breaking Dawn Part 2 on a transatlantic flight. Oh my goodness. Good, not hood. No, he's a great Batman. Honestly, yeah, because I was kind of thinking like Red Hood a little. I don't know. Anyway. You haven't seen it yet? Oh, it's honestly, it was one of the best, if not the best. He's not Jason. I know. You remember him in Harry Potter as Cedric Diggory? Yeah. Which again, he was also very good in. Like he's been in a bunch of roles now, like that have just like really proven his acting chops. Let's see. Save my clip is long, even if you delete the clip, the evidence remains. The Lighthouse. Him and that's so funny. I was talking to my mom about that movie last night. She was asking about it and I was like, yeah, I've seen it. It's kind of weird, but like really good, and the acting is top notch. It's Defoe and Pattinson. Yes, and Colin Farrell as Penguin. Oh my god. I only knew it was him. I only knew that was Farrell because I knew that he was cast as the Penguin going into it. Fucking unrecognizable. He turned into a chameleon for that role. It was fucking it just amazing. He did. He nailed the part. He nailed it. I agree. And I can't remember because I've only watched it once. I need to watch it again. But I remember being like super, super happy with. Thank you for the hydrate. See, y'all got me talking about fucking movies and but I remember the last scene was It was really good. I just can't fucking remember. I just don't remember it. I remember being like super impressed with like it was because I think it was a Joker scene too, like a fucking Leto Joker scene of all things. But it was really good. I watched. You mean the one that was on? I know, Shadow. I know. I can go. I could go for fucking hours, days with movies. I watched. I watched some of the Penguin. The one that was on whatever the fuck that network is that has like all the different has or had. I don't know if they're still going. Uh Oh, wait. You're talking about the HBO one. I was thinking of like the network that has like The Flash and Gotham and all that. I did see a little bit of the Penguin though. I saw like an episode or two. I need to see more because it was good. He stars in it. That's right. That's right. Fuck, I forgot. Yeah, CW. That's what I was thinking. Fuck. Which I actually the guy that plays like the younger Penguin in Gotham was actually pretty fucking good too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I that show just kind of fell off of my radar. I think I totally forgot about it. I didn't know I could care about Mr. Cobblepot. CW for kids. I think I remember that actually. Arrow used to be so good before they messed it up. I watched Arrow for a hot minute. Like a lot of them fell off of my radar. Supergirl. I loved Supergirl for a hot minute, and it life, man. I got busy. um, um, The Flash, bro. The Flash, the first season, Hi Straps, the first season, the end of the first season of The Flash, I cried. I'm too poor to buy comics. I haven't bought any in so long, but I still have like several long boxes of them just stashed in a closet, but still the whole Arrowverse was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Like while I watched it, I did. Flash would have been amazing had they let Barry grow as a character. Oh, see, again, that was another one. I watched like a season or two, and you cried, I cried, we both crowed. We named our daughter Thea after Thea Queen from Arrow. That's so cute. That's so cute. Beautiful soup clip is on the Discord. No. I need another long box. I'm past my long box days, honestly. Like I have so many. I think I have 4 in a closet right now, and they're all full. Like I don't need any more. They didn't let the character develop. That's sad. That's too bad. That's too bad. That's too bad. Didn't start off that way. Speaking of cheesy, you want to go cheesy? If we want to talk cheesy, let's talk Smallville. Although I loved it. I loved it after I got through the cheese. Love Grant as yeah. Yeah, he was a wonderful Barry. He was. I loved him too. I did. Uh-huh. It was. Sounds like dealing with your community. I need a video or some pics of my comic collection if y'all in Discord. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Absolutely. I'm always down to see comics. Towards the end, it fell off. Hate to be the guy with repetitive consort. No, don't be. My daughter cosplayed as Red Arrow and met the Willa Holland. What? That's cool. Who plays the wild bike? It was a really cool interaction. That's so cool. After dealing with all the cheese, yeah. Same. The only thing I did not like about Smallville, I know it was like its whole like little gimmick, was that they didn't let him fly like until the very fucking last episode. Like, come on. Barry should have stayed dead in the comics. I'm hoping the animated Harley Quinn show gets another season. I still have to watch it. And I keep meaning to. I need to add that to my list. But anyway. Convention experience was cosplaying as Science Saga. I'm gonna completely fuck up that name. I'm not even gonna try. It's a strange show. I mean, it should be. It's like Harley. I should show you guys sometime my Harley figurine collection. I have a Harley collection, and I have Rogue. They love pulling obscure characters. I love that. Coolest convention experience. My favorite convention experience was when I met it was just like just kind of seeing different cosplayers. Oh wait, no, actually the best, my favorite convention experience was meeting oh fuck, what's his name? Norman Reedus. I met Norman Reedus at a festival, and Clockman and the Riddler end up in a gay relationship. What? But I met Norman Reedus, and I got him to sign a picture, and I was wearing oh, the fucking shirt that I was wearing. It was a human centipede shirt. It wasn't like, it was basically like stick figures or close enough to that. So it wasn't like actually graphic, but it was a human centipede shirt. And he was like, "That's a fucking cool shirt, man." And I was fangirling so hard. All I do for vacation is cons lately. There's so many near me in Florida now that it's like a monthly. That's so fun. That's so cool. I refuse to watch a movie. I don't recommend it. 60 stream street, coon. Let's heckin' go. Now it shows up. That's so silly. I don't want to either. Yeah, we will not be having a watch party of that, okay? I can't even say imagine, because absolutely not. No way in fuck. Who is on? Who is around? Oh, because it's after midnight. Wasn't just the director indulging their kink. Honestly, probably.